Mm, Let's I tell you an old story anew, and we will see how well you know it. Once upon a time, there were two kingdoms that were the worst of neighbors. So vast was the discord between them. In one kingdom lived folk like you and me, with a vain and ready king to rule over them. They were forever discontent and envious of the wealth and beauty of their neighbors. For in the other kingdom the Moor lived with every manner of strange and wonderful creature, and they needed neither king nor queen, but just in one another. In a great tree on a great cliff in the moor lives on such a spirit. You might take her for a girl, but she was just not any girl. She was a fairy, and there you go. And her name was Maleficent. Maleficent is only fairy in the mountains. She had a beautiful face and large wings. She is very innocent and had an honest heart. This forest is a place where she grew up, and there are many strange creatures here. It's hard to imagine that she later became a terrifying tyrant, cold-blooded, and destroys everything. That day, in the forest appeared a young man. He took her hand, but she quickly took her hand back. She said that these metals would hurt Fairy. The boy immediately took them up and threw them away. Stephen considered care make her feel extremely warm. The friendship between the two became a different kind of love. When she was 16 years old, Stephen gave her a gift. He said it was kid true of love, but now ambitions make Stephen leave the forest. Maleficent really missed him. She could not understand why people are already selfish and jealous. Maleficent is the most powerful fairy in the forest, had become the guardian god of the moon. Suddenly one day, a group of soldiers suddenly entered the deep forest. They want to destroy all living creatures here. And then Maleficent appeared. She using her loud wings and threw all the soldiers around. Honestly, she did not kill them. The soldier ran out of the forest, returning to could kill that queen, the prince said. Will belong to that person, the king said to Stephen. After hearing this order, that evening Stephen went to the land of Mu alone, and it had been 10 years since they met again. That night two of them talked for a long time. Stephen tricked her, then waited for the moment to cut up her wing. The day after waking up, Maleficent felt that something had changed in her body. It turned out her wing was lost. She was stunned. All this broke her. Falling into a state of despair, she cried bitterly. not because she lost her wings, but because the person she loved more deceived her. Stephen returns to the palace and brings her wings in front of the king. From there, he became the head of kingdom. After losing her wings, she became a completely different person. Stephen married to the princess. Knowing the full truth, Maleficent was very angry. She wanted to kill that man and take the wings back. Short after, Stephen's daughter was born. Little Fairy began to congratulate and pray for her, and a hurricane began to strike Maleficent in his black coat and slowly came. Maleficent began to cast a spell, cast a curse for the little baby. The princess who grow up will be extremely beautiful and kind, but on her 16th birthday, she will be asleep forever until she gets the kiss of true love. She will wake up. Because in order to avoid the curse, Stephen let 3 fairies take your princess into forest. At the part, little Princess Aurora although grew up. She met Maleficent and said that it was she who raised and called her mother. Maleficent was moved by Aurora's loveliness and honesty. That day she used all her strength to break the curse for Aurora. Unfortunately, there is no way to broken it. Maleficent regretted and what she had done. One day, Aurora meets a prince. Maleficent standing beside her heard all their story. She thinks that perhaps in this is true of her this is her true love. Although the one who can dispel the curse after learning the truth, Aurora was heartbroken and unexpectedly. Aurora runs back to the palace and sees sewing machine. Something pushed her close, and she took the needle and began to fall asleep. After hearing this, Maleficent took the brain to Aurora Palace and used the kiss of brain to wake the princess up. But unexpectedly, Aurora never woke up, heartbroken and regretful. Mm, Maleficent walked over to her bedside, then blamed herself and kissed her forehead. As she turned to leave, Aurora suddenly woke up. That she is her secret love. And the end. Aurora became the queen of kingdom and relationship between humans and forest creatures improved. Um, Aurora stayed in Mu and living happily with her mother.